It's not in context of just a legal thing. Yes, there's a legal component to it that he uses in language at times, but that justification by faith isn't a legal matter, it's a relationship matter. It's not just about the legal side of it. You're justified, you're in, and that's it. Because if that were the case, he could say, stay with sin, it's okay, you're saved. But of course, he doesn't say stay with the sin, even though you are saved. It is finished. But he is saying now that you live as Christ followers, don't stay with it. Do the opposite, he's going to encourage. Because this is a relationship matter, that justification by faith is not just legalistic. It's not just a legal thing, it's a relationship. And so he's looking for there to be a change. When Christ died, I put this into your notes, he died both for our sin and to sin. And that's really important because a lot of times you've heard it said that when Christ died, he died for the sins of the world. And that is incomplete. Because the text clearly just said, since we have died to sin. So it wasn't that Jesus goes to die on the cross, that he dies for our sin. That is true, but that is incomplete. And yet many times when we talk about Christ and we share the gospel with other peoples, or we hear the gospel ourselves, we hear how Christ died for us. But he also died to sin. This is what Paul wants them to understand, that no, this is not a grace card now we get to play. He died to it, and so we died to it as well. So no, we don't just stay with it because we realize now the light has been turned on. What was in darkness is now is in light, and now God is elected and he's chosen us, and now we see what sin does. Before we were trapped in sin and we couldn't even see our way out. Scripture says that Satan has blinded the minds and the eyes of the unbeliever, but now the light has come on, and so you see what sin does to you and what it does to others. So of course we don't stay with it. This is his whole point to them. And he uses baptism as an illustration to help illustrate that the person can't die. The whole purpose of using baptism here is you can't die and be resurrected without experiencing some form of change. How could you die and be resurrected and have no change, no difference? No, a complete transformation has occurred. This is what he's getting at. And then he goes on in verse 12. He says, do not let sin control the way you live. Do not give in to sinful desires. So they're still there. Those desires are still there. Do not let any part of your body become an instrument of evil to serve sin. Don't take you at your word.